I'm certified financial planner David Somerville. I'm here on today's show with registered retirement consultant Jason Pollock. Jason, good evening. How are you?
All is good. How are you?
All is great.
It's a good day. Summer.
If I could hit the golf ball straight, it'd be even better.
Good luck.
Marching band, right? You ever heard of that? The marching band golf swing? Left, right, left, right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sounds like me.
That's
why I quit.
But the clubs are great. I look great till the first tee,
exactly.
right?
It's a good walk spoiled.
Exactly, right? Hey, I'll take my 18,000 steps around, right? So it's all good.
Yeah.
Hey, on today's show, we're going to talk about some strategies when wealth changes hands. And, you think about it right now, Jason, is there was a report out by, I think it was by TD Bank, and they said in the next 10 years in Canada, we're going to be passing down just over $1 trillion of investable assets. So mom and dad are out there, grandma, grandpa, they pass on. Money's going to pass down to the next generation. You've got a lot of people right now. We see it ourselves in our practice. A lot of our clients have built a great business. They're going to sell that great business. They're going to get a big check when they eventually close that deal, and wealth is changing hands, right? So, when wealth changes hands, whether it's due to an inheritance, a business sale, a divorce settlement, or other events, it can be really impactful for individuals and their financial situation, along with their overall wealth management. So here are some strategies to consider if you are going through a big wealth change. Number one is you should sit down and say, okay, I just inherited this money, or I sold my business. What are my clear financial goals? So, set the objectives, understand what you want to achieve with your newfound wealth. Now, you want to grow that wealth? You want to protect that wealth? Is that wealth going to produce an income? Are you going to buy a home, fund education, help your kids get their first house? So again, set some clear goals, number one. Number two is develop a comprehensive financial plan. Our suggestion, obviously, Jason, is work with a financial advisor, create or update a financial plan on how to best manage the money going forward, how to invest it, how to grow it for your loved ones over time. And again, a professional, unlike trying to do it yourself, can help to tailor strategies to meet your specific goals and your own circumstances.
What's the old adage? If you fail to plan,
no, people don't plan to fail; they fail to plan.
That's it,
right?
Yeah.
And it's funny, right? If you ask yourself at whatever age you're at now, 50, 60, 70, if you could go back 20 years and talk to the 20-year-old version of you, or go back to your 20s and talk to the 20-year-old version of you, what would you tell your 20-year-old version of you?
Yeah.
You'd say, well, maybe save a bit more. Don't buy brand new cars because they depreciate and they're not good investments. Yeah. Put away a bit of money each month. Invest in good equities. Make good investments. I mean, it's amazing, right? People just, again, they don't plan, right?
Exactly.
And they wonder why they're sitting there at 70 and struggling, right?
Exactly. One of the other strategies that we talk about is consider some of the tax implications. So you've got a lot to deal with, so tax planning is a big part of that. So be aware of any of the tax liabilities from this transfer. It might be an inheritance tax or a probate tax. It might be capital gains issues, but planning ahead can help you minimize the tax burden, and it's not what you make, it's what's in your pocket.
Well, that's a great point, Jason, because, I talked to a client just a few weeks ago, and she inherited about $500,000 from her grandmother. And we got talking about the portfolio. Now, she has a really good job, makes good income. And we got talking about where to put the money. And I said to her, if you put it in a GIC, which is fine, I said, you're going to make 3.5% to 4% on your money. However, you're going to give half of that back to the government in taxes. Yeah. So that's option one. Option two is you can go stocks or whatever you want to do, ETFs, mutual funds, whatever you want to do, and you're going to pay half the tax. So again, it's important that based on your timeline is, why give more to the government when you don't have to?
Exactly. And people get too focused on the rate of return, but they forget about that tax implication. Right. Another thing is diversifying your investments. So if your wealth is concentrated into one asset, like a home or real estate or your family business, you've got to consider diversifying. You've got to spread that risk over different investments. It doesn't matter whether it's stocks or GICs or whatever, but you can't have everything concentrated into one asset.
Well, again, key point here is that for those that want to play their own favorite stock portfolio, I tell them all the time is, fine, take 5 to 10% of your portfolio and go and speculate. Take the other 90% and invest wisely. Invest as though it's there to last for a generation or two. So yeah, diversification is critical. Number 5 here on some of the strategies when sudden wealth happens is to pay down debt. Obviously, if you've got a big check from someone or somewhere, look at your liabilities, look at your credit cards, your car loans, maybe your mortgage possibly. And again, by paying down that debt, it creates that income from having to not pay down that debt. So where that $1,000 or $2,000 a month was going towards those payments, by paying it off, it makes some sense. I would say too that, Jason, one of the big questions we always get is, do I pay off my mortgage? Well, if the mortgage is only costing you 2 or 3%, okay, doesn't make sense to take out the money to pay off that mortgage.
Right.
If you're at a point where you're retiring, absolutely makes some sense. But if you're 40, it's not bad to own some debt. It's not bad to have low cost debt, because that portfolio, I think over time, is probably going to generate, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10% return. So why pay off a 2% mortgage when you could generate 8 to 10% return in the market?
Yeah, agreed. One of the other strategies is investing in some education or skills. So you've got some personal development. Maybe consider using some of your wealth to invest in education. Maybe take a different a course or certification or skills. Maybe that will enhance some of the potential of or benefit to your career. Another option is planning to give. Right? Planning for philanthropy. Capital Wealth, we've got donor advised funds, so you can create your own personal foundation. If you want to give back, consider giving a portion to a charity or some organization that that's near and dear to your heart. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's and again, you get the tax benefits and you get the feel good of the gift, right? Another key thing here is review your estate plan. Obviously, when you've inherited a bunch of money or you've sold a business or whatever it may be, ensure that you've got your wills, your trusts, and other estate planning documents up to date. Make sure you look at your beneficiaries, and again, to asset distribution. So, are you going to leave all your money to all 3 kids equally? Is it going to go somewhere else? So look at that as well. Also, too, Jason, here, adjust insurance coverage. You might want to look at. You may no longer need the insurance, right? So maybe you've got $1 million life insurance policy that you had for your mortgage or for your family. You've just inherited a bunch of money. So review your insurance policies, your life, your health, your property. Make sure you have adequate coverage, especially now that there's been a serious change in your wealth.
Yeah, agreed. And we use life insurance to help with tax liabilities as well, so it's important to double check on that insurance coverage, right? Another thing that we talk about, of course, is consult some legal professions. We're obviously not lawyers, but you should seek advice from legal professions, especially if it's coming from a divorce, some of this wealth that you've just inherited, or you're going through a divorce or a business sale. It's really important to have a lawyer to navigate some of those legal issues.
Yeah, and also too, right? If you inherited a bunch of money from your parents, and maybe you are divorced, but you've got a new partner, you're looking
blended
at
family,
blended family, possibly a cohabitation agreement, maybe looking at a prenuptial agreement. So, when money comes in the door, make sure you're bulletproofing your legal side, I guess.
Exactly. And speaking of family, you should involve your family. Keep open communication. So if wealth, again, is being transferred within a family, you've got to maintain some open and honest discussions about some of the implications. You don't want any issues. If you're talking about inheritance, you want to make sure the kids understand where the money is going, and it could just obviously help any misconceptions or misunderstandings and avoid some conflicts.
Well, it's amazing, right? How many times that you have the parents that don't share any information with their children. They're afraid to share the good, the bad, or the ugly. The kids assume that mom and dad are worth millions and millions of dollars. Yeah. Why plan for retirement when I'm going to get millions from my parents? Well, what if you don't, number one?
Yeah.
And then there are those that mom and dad lived frugally for their whole life, and then the kids thought, well, mom and dad never took a trip and never spent any money. Then all of a sudden there's $3 or $4 million there. So the one thing I tell my kids is that don't kill the golden goose, right? So if you happen to inherit some money, if we happen to have some good fortune, make sure that good fortune continues, and we don't kill the golden goose after good old dad passes away. And the last key point here when it comes to planning around sudden wealth is monitor and rebalance your portfolio. Again, you want to assess your portfolio on a yearly basis, at least align your risk tolerance and your financial goals. And Jason, and finally, when wealth changes hands, it opens a wide range of possibilities and responsibilities. So by implementing these strategies, hopefully you're able to better grow your wealth, navigate those financial implications and transactions. And then again, finally, the important thing is that people need to go out and really get advice from a wealth advisor, get advice from a good tax preparer, tax advisor, get advice from your legal profession, get your team around you, and make sure that the good fortune that you've been able to generate or come by is going to be able to last for generations to come.
Agreed. We hear it sometimes where kids end up blowing the money 2 or 3 years later, and it's not good. That's not what the whole point of of struggling all your life to build up an inheritance, as an example, to have somebody blow it within a year or two.
Exactly. And for those that do inherit the wealth, that good fortune comes your way. Now that you've got the wealth, it's important that you again plan, and that way your kids will be the benefactor at some point, and hopefully generations to come. So hopefully this is just some information for those that are coming into those situations. Jason, have a great evening. Thanks again for coming on the show. Really appreciate it. And for those out there, don't forget, check us out on Apple, iTunes, and Spotify, and the YouTube network. We've got, what do we have, about 10,000 viewers, 10,000 subscribers at least. Don't be afraid to subscribe. We want to get it past the current.
We're going to hit the
current levels, right?
We're going to hit the top 10 podcasts in Canada soon.
Exactly, right? Wouldn't that be great? But
us and Joe Rogan,
Joe Rogan. We're like mini Joe Rogan,
exactly.
Right? Yeah, on the financial side. But Jason, again, thanks again. Have a great night.